G'day reefers, I'm Cam the Fish Guy. Welcome to Gallery Aquatica TV. Almost 2 years ago we brought you to Coffin Reef for the Great Tank Swap. Since then we've hardly been back. Just what happened at Coffin Reef? The truth may shock you. Coffin Reef is a very long tank. It's almost 9 feet long. With the cabinet, it's very tall. So it's a beautiful, beautiful divider in this room. Now, looking at this tank, you would really think that everything is going beautiful and this tank has done really well ever since we moved it in the Great Tank Swap. However, a number of months after the Great Tank Swap, things started to go wrong. This tank was plagued by a variety of issues, and it's only just now that we're ready to show you this tank again after the problems that it has had. Today we're going to run you through the 3 main problems that this tank suffered and what we did to fix these problems. The first big problem that we had with this tank in the months following the swap was the fact that the chemical stability was really poor. Now the calcium, the KH, magnesium, these were being dosed with one supplement and we were dosing trace elements with another. And in fact, there was a variety of things going into this tank and it was really difficult to get some stability with particularly the trace elements. We did a number of ICP tests and they were all a little bit iffy with the results. So we made the decision to move onto a brand of supplements that we knew was going to give us the stability that we needed. So we moved on to Triton, and let's have a look at how we've done it. So here we are, underneath the tank, looking at the dosing system. Now, we already had our 3 acrylic vessels for the dosing supplements, and we had to move onto the Triton for the stability. So because we need to keep to the 3 vessel system, we've actually got part 3A and 3B combined in this front vessel. Part 1 is at the back, part 2 is in the middle. Now, we also have changed to a different system for our RO top-up. And so now we've got a reservoir instead of the RO feeding directly into the sump from the RO filter. And the combination of the Triton and this system for the RO is really giving us the stability that we require. It's much easier for us now to really tune in our levels of calcium, KH and mag, but also trace elements. And the most recent ICP test we've done came in with excellent results. So our dosing has been fixed. Let's talk about the second problem. The second big problem that we encountered after the Great Tank Swap with Coffin Reef was we had a big outbreak of algae. Now this algae was a little bit unique and it is not an algae which I've really encountered before. It was quite a thick, dark, almost black sort of algae, and it was a hair algae that was very easy to remove. And so we tried a variety of things to fix this algae problem. We were trying to bring our nutrients into balance, we upgraded the refugium, we increased our water changes, we increased the frequency of changing the media in the pre-filters, as well as the phosphane. We tried carbon, tuning the skimmer. We did a variety of things that would normally help with this sort of algae. We also tried a variety of cleanup crew. We tried diadema urchins, abalone, trochus, a heap of different cleanup crew, a heap of different systems, but nothing was fixing this algae problem. And so we did something which I'm usually reluctant to do. We tried a chemical fix. And so the fix for this algae was continuum clean equation M, and it's worked brilliantly. I had actually hoped that we would be able to get some footage of this algae before it completely disappeared so that we can just show you exactly what it looked like, but this treatment has been so effective that we can't find a single piece of this algae. So now we've got the algae under control, the corals have been able to grow past, because the this algae was smothering the corals, it was growing all over them, and so the corals have really improved. They've got the stability with the water parameters, they're not being smothered anymore. And to be honest, the switch to the Triton is probably one of the other reasons why this algae disappeared. But it was certainly the clean equation M that absolutely finished it off. So that was our fix for problem number 2. Let's look at problem number 3, because that is in some way still ongoing. The third problem, and the worst problem that we've encountered with this tank, is an outbreak of pest anemones. We have 2 species. We've got the typical Aptasia, which we featured in a number of episodes of Gallery Aquatica TV, and varieties of ways to treat Aptasia. In this tank we've been using the Red Sea Aptasia X, and because there's only a few Aptasia, we've been able to hold them at bay. But the bigger problem that we've been having is the Majanos. And Majanos are similar to Aptasia in their size. The ones in this tank are green, and they're much more difficult to kill with topical applications like the Aptasia X. We also can't put peppermint shrimp in this tank because there's a number of big wrasse that have eaten all the ones that we've tried. We've hoped to put copper band butterfly in here, but we haven't had success of late. They just don't really mix in with the dynamic. We are trialling on another tank stripies as a treatment for Aptasia, and I would be interested to know if they will also eat Majanos. But the way that we've been controlling them to the best we possibly can is by injecting them with hot water, and it's an incredibly laborious system. We've spent a number of hours regularly every week pretty much just injecting individual polyps of the Majanos to kill them one at a time, and it takes ages. We're kind of getting on top of the problem, and that's why we're really ready to show the results. But this is what we hope to see the biggest improvement with Coffin Reef in the next few weeks. So where to next for Coffin Reef? Now that we've effectively improved the water's chemical stability, we've eradicated the algae, and we're finally getting on top of the problem anemones, we're definitely going to be adding more corals to this tank. The fish, I would say, is really at its maximum bioload. There's lots of fish in this tank and they look great, so we definitely don't need to add any more fish, but we'll be putting more corals in, and as we are slowly reclaiming real estate from the Majanos, we'll have more and more places to put corals. So that's the truth about Coffin Reef. It has certainly had a variety of problems, but we've been lucky that the bulk of the corals have survived, and they're really starting to show some huge improvements. We'll bring you back to Coffin Reef in future episodes of Gallery Aquatica TV, and we'll show you exactly how this tank develops. That's our episode of Gallery Aquatica TV for today. I'm Cam the Fish Guy. Happy reefing! That's our video for today. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and make sure you've subscribed to our channel so you don't miss an episode of Gallery Aquatica TV. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cam the Fish Guy. Happy reefing!